Hey everybody, and welcome back to A Bar Above. So today we're going to take a look at one of the questions that gets asked quite a bit in the restaurant and craft bar scene, and that is, what is the difference between fresh juice and pasteurized juice? So stay tuned. So there's no doubt that fresh juice is always going to be the best option for cocktail programs, for cooking, for anything. It just brings the freshest flavor and the best quality as well. But today what I'm going to be looking at is some of the major differences between pasteurized versus fresh juice, and we're going to be breaking out some of the scientific tools that I have. So the two instruments that we're going to be using to measure our juices, the first one is going to be your basic pH meter, the same one you had in high school, and that'll give you a general idea of how much acidity is in these juices. It's not perfect, but it's as good as I got. So I'll be using a pH meter, and the second thing I'm going to be using is a refractometer. Now the beautiful thing about this is it measures sugar content in juices. Once again, it's not perfect, but it'll give us a much deeper look than we can have in juices just by a casual eye. So those are the two tools we're going to be using, and like I said, finally we're going to be making cocktails with them, the same exact cocktail, and we're just going to be using fresh versus pasteurized juice to see what the real world scenario is going to taste like and end up in a final cocktail. So yeah, let's go ahead and start our measure, shall we? So if we took a look at the tests, we'll see that the sugar content between the fresh and the pasteurized juices are about the same. They lay in about the 8 to 9% Brix content for each of them, so they're fairly comparable as far as that goes. Now if we take a look on the pH, on the other hand, we'll find some pretty good differences between the two. With the fresh juice, we have a pH of about 2.01, around 2.0 on the pH, and then on the pasteurized juice, we'll see a pH of about 2.24. So this theoretically means that the fresh juice definitely packs a little bit more punch if we look solely on pH. But now for the final test. Let's see how these things taste side by side in a margarita. So I'm going to go ahead and say that there's no comparison between these two cocktails. The fresh lime juice margarita just wins across the board. It's a better cocktail with the acidity, the balance, and the aromatics that it brings. Much cleaner, much more vibrant. It tastes like a fantastic margarita. With the pasteurized lime juice, that acidity is definitely fallen off. You don't get those big spikes of acidity, and the aromatics has changed considerably as well. So instead of those vegetal notes that we get with fresh lime juice, these are much more kind of bitter and oxidized notes that definitely kind of carry through in the final cocktail. And the biggest difference between the two is the sweetness levels. So with this pasteurized lime juice margarita, it's much sweeter. It definitely tastes much sweeter than the other one, and it's the exact same recipe I use for both. So yeah, I found that interesting, and it's up to you to decide which one's going to be the best for your beverage program. You have some benefit with the squeezed juice, the pasteurized juice, and the fact that it's already done and you can buy it prepackaged, or you can do a fresh squeeze and really focus on a higher quality cocktail. So we'll have some more videos for you in the future, but until then, I hope you guys have a great shift, and cheers. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us on Google+, or visit us at abarabove.com.